Hey, what's up, everybody? This is No Pixel Live, and I'm kind of making a little bit of a different video today because I ran across a bit of a partnership scam in my YouTube. And this is more for the, I guess, smaller creators because most bigger guys have, legal teams to suss this sort of thing out. But people particularly like, you or I that kind of rely on manually going through stuff. This is kind of a big deal because I am somebody that prides myself on not really falling for scams and being able to recognize them immediately. And this one in particular, I didn't really even see any alarms raised until they had asked me to download something. Now, luckily, I was smart enough and I ran the programs through a virus scanner, which obviously isn't going to protect you right off the bat. Luckily, they didn't have any executables that ran immediately upon downloading. Thank God. But it did pop flags on one of 60 virus scanners, surprisingly, but that was enough for me to look into this a little bit more. So let's go ahead and give you a little backstory on this. I would like to start in saying that LetaSoft, who is the company they are approaching me as, at least impersonating, LetaSoft itself is a real company that's been around for a while, and they have produced real software that is not malicious in any way or form. However, this company that is kind of masquerading as LetaSoft, using the same name, they're using reply emails that look pretty official whenever you go to it from partners at letasoft.cc, as you can see here. But they are, in fact, not real. So about 13 days ago, I received an email from this Veronica Morgan. And I didn't really pay attention, unfortunately, at the start to this very suspicious email address that it was sent from. So I just casually ignored the suspicious email address, which you should never do, by the way. That's usually your first red flag. And I just go about reading it. And I sent them a nice little reply asking them who they are and what they had in mind, to which they responded with a canned answer. The same canned answer I'm pretty sure they send to every single person they're trying to scam into a fake YouTube partnership. And it just comes with a description of the product they're trying to get you to quote unquote advertise, as well as the steps that they want you to follow. It is honestly pretty in depth, all things considered. Granted, there are a couple things, specifically this part down here that I highlighted, that did stand out. Apart from that, though, I just kind of read on, took it with a grain of salt as I usually do, while obviously still expressing genuine interest because I am a small content creator. And I read up until this point. It says I will send you all the materials, including the contract, sample video, text for revoice, etc. And it's got these two little links down here, which conveniently lead you to some downloads. I believe they're just straight downloads right off the bat. Yep, just straight downloads right off the bat. Which, again, obviously, you should never just download anything to your computer if you don't know where it's coming from, who's sending it to you, etc., etc. You could honestly write a whole book, which I'm pretty sure there already are books on it, about the numerous ways that people have been scammed using programs, emails, so on and so forth. Just in general, not a good idea to download stuff from an unknown source. So back to the story at hand. I received this email, I received these downloads, and as well as a password and a link to their promo materials for YouTubers on their main website, letasoft.cc. So I'm like, alright, that's cool. I decided to look a little bit more into it, so I visited their website before I made any decisions. You open it up, and it takes you to letasoft.cc, which is a fairly old-looking site. Definitely looks like it's something straight out of the early 2000s, maybe even late 90s or early 90s. Honestly, not sure. I wasn't using the internet around then. But yeah, it's fairly general, pretty straightforward. Got your email support down here and your copyright. 2021 LetaSoft LLC. Now I want you to pay attention specifically down here to the copyright date. And not just that, we're going to be taking a look at these languages here later too. So just in general off of the website, nothing stands out. Nothing really particular is grabbing my attention other than this promo material for YouTubers? Pretty much the same stuff that was stated in the email that was sent to me. Pretty standard practice, and honestly, nothing too suspicious until we get to the part where it's trying to get us to download stuff. Having thoroughly looked through their website myself, done a little bit of source research straight from the horse's mouth, I decided I was going to go onto Google and search up some more information on this LetaSoft company. And I wasn't really met with much apart from their website, which just happens to be LetaSoft.com. Now, it's a little weird, right? I mean, this is the same web page, obviously. Somebody could obviously assume that the CC at the end of LetaSoft in the place of .com could possibly mean content creator. That's what I would assume that means. However, there are a couple weird things about this. Again, we were talking about the copyright down here, copyright 2021. If you go over to the LetaSoft Sound Booster main website, the one that is advertised on Google and is advertised on all of their softwares, LetaSoft.com rather than CC, one thing you'll notice right away is the copyright date. Copyright 2018. This website has not been touched in at least 3 years by the people that update the website or by the company itself. Nobody is touching this. Not just that, the question and support email isn't even the same. LetaSoft.com as opposed to on the scam site being LetaSoft.cc. Now this is the home page, mind you. This is the home page. So this should be the same email. There are a couple other discrepancies about the .cc website that we've been discussing that I would like to point out. The other one that I had stated earlier would be this language selection. You got English and you got Russian. Now, if we head over here to the actual LetaSoft website, if I go here and I click Russian, it's going to switch to Russian. And nothing's wrong. Everything seems to still work. The links still work. The copyright hasn't changed. Everything seems to be in order. Everything's just now in Russian. However, if you go over to .cc and you change over to Russian, well, it's a bit of a different story now, isn't it? So what's the moral of this story? Well, if you ever get an email asking for a partnership in your YouTube or whatever, always put in thorough research into anybody, especially if they want to download a program onto your computer itself. There are plenty of non-intrusive ways to sign documents without having to download something to your PC, like Google Documents or DocuSign. I mean, it's not hard to see that this was a scam. However, they did quite a bit to hide the fact that it was, so it could trip you up if you're not paying attention, and it's that one download that really could make the difference. This has been NoPixel Live, just trying to help out my community and all my smaller content creators out there. Feel free to leave a like, do whatever. This is more of a public service announcement than anything. So at the end of the day, I don't really care if this video does well. I do care, however, that people see this and this gets out there, because there's nothing on it right now, and this is bad. This type of video may not exactly fall into my niche type of content, which is mostly Grand Theft Auto roleplay videos. However, I wanted to use my platform for something good, specifically stopping scams like this. So, tell your friends, tell your family, tell anybody that might be running a YouTube channel with more than 1,000 subscribers, because they are going to be the ones at risk. This has been NoPixel Live, and I'll see you for some more roleplay later on.